It's a saddening loss indeed, but it provides us an opportunity to reflect on how lucky we are to have been sharing his space, how lucky we are to have been led by men of his caliber, especially one he left our country in order to participate in the liberation struggle. You would recall, Denver, that President Geingob was one of the leaders of thought of the liberation struggle. In other words, he was more of the intellectual arm of the liberation struggle, which is why he was deployed by liberation struggle giants like Sam Nujoma to the United Nations to represent the United Nations. He was also the leader of the United Nations Institute in Zambia, which is very important because this institution produced the intellectual minds that will then govern our country once the liberation struggle was attained. Because during the liberation struggle, what is currently or previously known as the liberation struggle is usually associated with the armed liberation struggle. In other words, people associate the liberation struggle with only the militaristic view. But what is important, what was also crucial, is that once we attained independence, we were ready to govern. And President Geingob were one of those leaders who were with preparing the Namibian minds, Namibian young people, so that once we are attaining our liberation struggle, we have magistrates, we have doctors, we have all the intellectual people who will then govern our country. So it's not really surprising that you have these international leaders mourning our president up until the United Nations, because he was indeed an intellectual giant, both from a global point of view, but also from an African point of view. If we speak of intellectual giants, President Geingob is up there with the likes of Kwame Nkrumah, Amilcar Cabral, but also those who are still living like Thabo Mbeki. He is really one of those leaders of thought who have produced an intellectual space for our country to develop.